guys, thanks for joining me. My name is Kelly. This will be a quick video. I had somebody ask me recently about the shimmer powders, the new Meteorite shower shimmer powder from Nuvo. So I'm going to be using these products here, which will be linked below, to make a quick card. I'm basically focusing on the technique I'm going to use. I already, it's Meteorite shower. I'm really a big fan of this powder. I'm loving it. Now, I already pre-embossed with clear embossing powder on top of Bristol. In hindsight, going back, I should have used a heavier weight water absorbent cardstock, but I didn't. I used Bristol. Okay, so to begin, I'm using my Epicurean, I don't know what that's called, cutting board. And I have my Bristol here, and I pre-wet, I sprayed my paper ahead of time. Then I added my shimmer powder because it gives a different result. Believe it or not, it gives a different result. Look, and I'll show you side by side. This one is the Concord and 9th Turnabout Snowflake stamp. I just, used Versamark and stamped it all 4 turns and embossed it in clear. So what I'm doing here is I'm adding the water. I sprayed it, added the shimmer powder, sprayed it again, and you can see I'm absorbing just the heavy puddles, but I'm drying it with my heat gun, and it does take a little bit of time, but it will absorb into the paper. Again, I think I would recommend using a heavier weight watercolor paper for this, and again, it's just a quick video. So I wanted to add a little more shimmer powder because it kind of dried back a little light. I wanted it to have a more color. So I just sprinkled some more on, sprayed it again. And I use my little pokey tool sometimes to move some color around. Just drying it again with my heat tool. Nothing crazy, just absorbing a few areas of where color has, where water has pooled. I'm just absorbing that with my napkin, paper towel, and again, I'm just going over it one more time. Now, this shimmer powder looks like it's black in the bottle, but it's not. It's navy with teal, pink, purple pigment in it. It's really pretty. And it's great for Christmas cards, galaxy scenes. It's just a beautiful shimmer powder. It's got probably one of my favorites. I love it. Okay, so I'm going around and I'm just taking a little bit of wet napkin and just wiping off some of the embossing powder to brighten it up a little bit. And there's a lot of warping, but you can straighten it out. You can glue it down and just hold it down with a heavy object, or you can add foam tape to really, mount it to your cardstock, your card panel. Now, this technique is just straight up dry Bristol paper. I'm adding the shimmer powder. The other one I'd pre-wet it. This time I didn't. And again, you'll see the difference shortly. And this background is the Hero Arts hand-drawn snowflakes. Now see, look at all the colors that comes out of this when you wet it. You got your pink, purple, and teal. It's just really pretty. So I'm going over it again, holding it down with my little pokey tool there. I just use that sometimes if it starts to warp a little bit. And some of the water will blow off, and that's okay. But you just keep going over and over, and it will dry. But be careful, you don't want to burn your embossing powder. So I did that, and I fixed it by going over it with a white gel pen in certain areas. So again, just going over it, drying it, and repeating the process until you're happy with it. I think I like the technique of adding it to a dry cardstock versus having it pre-wet. I think the result is just a little bit better. I'm not sure why, but both are good. So again, just drying it up, and I'm going to show you, like I said, eventually it will absorb the water. Just takes a little while. So I'm adding more because, again, I want it to be more pigmented. Just spraying it. And look at that. Doesn't it make a beautiful background? I mean, it's perfect. I just love it. So again, I mean, you can let this air dry, but it will take forever. because they're all puddles of water on there. You got to wet it pretty good to get that pigment to come out. So you know that the more absorbent the cardstock, the better off you'll be. So yeah, so I went over this again and just drying it over and over again. A lot of drying. And there's some areas where it just pulls up, and again, it will absorb. I did burn my embossing powder on that snowflake right there. You can see it. And yeah, see, these are the two side by side. And I like the one on the right better. So again, I'm just wiping, doing what I did before, just wiping some of the pigment off some of the embossing powder in certain areas. And that one snowflake that was burned a little bit, I did touch it up with a white gel pen because the rest of it's fine. So there's my panel. There's my little peanut. He made an appearance as I was recording this video. And I didn't want to edit it out because he's just too cute. I tried to show you his face, but he was just neutered and I didn't want to turn him upside down, so he's a little bit sore. So he just wanted to say hello. Okay, so to finish off, I used the one panel to make this Christmas card, and I paired it with the Bold Sentiment stamp set from scrapbook.com. I mean, look at that. I used Delicata blue ink, and I used some sparkle embossing powder on top because it's pigment, and just to make it more shiny, put some foam tape underneath, some gems, and done. And that's it, folks. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful day.